Hey everybody, fabulous Farm Babe Pam Yankee. Welcome to another Midwest Farm Report ride-along. Today we are going to focus in on innovations, technology, everything from the tractor cab, pickup truck, semi, right on through to the software that we're using to manage our dairy herds, to try to take care of feeding our cows. Today we're focused in on new technology that's going to end up in bags in Wisconsin come 2026, 2027 growing season. We're with our friends from Syngenta, and we're going to learn today about the technology behind Durastacks. Come along. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Midwest Farm Report ride-along, an opportunity for us to accept invitations from industry partners to go out and find out about the latest technologies that Wisconsin farmers are using today or getting ready to use in the future. And it is a pretty exciting time in agriculture when it comes to everything from artificial intelligence, however you want to define that, all the way through to what is in that bag that our farmers are going to be planting in 2026. Brad Bernhard's along with us today. He is a corn technical product lead with Syngenta, and these are the folks that are bringing the Durastack technology into the marketplace. And you've had hands-on with that. Tell me a little bit about your background first, Brad.
Yeah, so as a technical product lead, I mainly focus on new products, first year products, and then also 1 year pre-commercial products as well, and trying to evaluate them and see what's going to be best for the farmers, not only in terms of just the genetic yield potential, but probably even more important, what we're going to talk about today is the traits in those hybrids.
Absolutely, absolutely. And people don't realize how much technology is in that bag until you break it down like Durastack. So it's a simple concept. Corn rootworm. We've been dealing with those rascals since the beginning of time, it seems, Brad. Why are we seeing something change about the corn rootworm? Tell me about populations, the insect itself. What are we learning?
Yeah, corn rootworm has been a devastating pest throughout U.S. corn production for a long time now. It costs farmers roughly $1 billion a year, and not only control measures, but also that lost yield potential as well. And they lay the eggs in the soil, so it's challenging to manage because you just don't see it. It's not something you can visually see. So really, a lot of the times you may not know you have a problem until it becomes a major issue.
Well, and that has been kind of our Achilles heel, hasn't it, farmers? Where 1 year maybe it's a little expensive. I think I'm doing pretty good on corn rootworm control myself, and then bam. That's when you, like you said, you really notice it.
Yeah, you can never step off the gas when it comes to corn rootworm control. You need to have intentional long-term management plan in place. And so there's a lot of ways that growers have been doing that. There's probably three main management practices they use. The first one is crop rotation, so rotating between corn and soybeans, as corn rootworm is a corn pest. The other one is soil applied insecticides, and then also using traded corn hybrids as well. And there is no silver bullet to this, and there's also challenges that come with this. So, for example, when thinking about crop rotation, that may not be feasible for all growers.
Right.
And there's also some corn rootworm species out there that have adapted to that rotation and even became resistant to rotation. So there's one species that actually can go through extended diapause, which means that instead of laying eggs in 1 year and then those eggs hatch the next year, it actually takes a year off, so that soybean rotation, they will stay dormant and then hatch that following corn year. So that's one species. The other species will actually will lay its eggs into standing soybeans
and wait
for that following corn crop.
Just about the time you thought the insect was silly or stupid. Now you know. How have those insect numbers been, though, Brad? Because like I said, there are some years where farmers have been like, I'm going to take it easy. I don't think I've got corn rootworm anymore. Are we seeing thresholds increase? You already mentioned how the insect has adapted a little bit itself. Tell me about the bug.
And that's the biggest challenge when it comes to corn rootworm, is it is a moving target. So some years we may have very high elevated pressures, and then a year or two goes by where, given the different environment or weather patterns that we have, the populations may be a little bit lower. And we monitor that within Syngenta, and actually it's a national working with universities as well. We monitor populations mostly by putting out beetle traps. We're trapping the adult beetles, and we can do beetle counts. So the last 3 or 4 years, we have been having pretty elevated corn rootworm beetle pressure, and so that's a concern and why farmers need to be thinking about this.
Absolutely. You may have been involved in some of those trappings on your farm. Now, if you're just joining us, Brad Bernhardt is the corn technical product lead. We are in north central Illinois at one of the Syngenta facilities where they're taking a look specifically at this bug and how we're going to try to work and manage through it in the future. So let's talk a little bit then. Like you said, it's a moving target, Brad. How does that change your approach here at Syngenta and where you're channeling your energy, where you're training your eye for future products?
Yeah, at Syngenta, we are a corn hybrid and corn trait provider. So we really focus on the trait aspect of corn rootworm management. And historically, a lot of the traits focus on the same 2 Bt proteins. Well, we are launching a new product called DuraStack that actually has 3 Bt proteins, a trait stack, the first one in the industry. And that gives it a little bit more diversity and durability to help with some of that resistance management that we're seeing.
Wow, that's exciting because, as you said, every bushel counts on every farm, and making sure whatever's in that bag is going to help you all the way to the end. Now, how did you come up with this attack plan with the 3 individual BT types? Give us a sense of how long that kind of research takes to culminate.
Well, I mean, it's a major need for growers. So we understood that, and we utilize some of the innovative technologies that we have within Syngenta to help accelerate trait development and ultimately bring differentiation to the marketplace in terms of corn rootworm traits. So we leveraged our innovative pipeline that we have, along with some new trait development tools that we have that can really go from R&D to the farm in a much shorter period than it has in the past.
Boy, and that is so critical. We need to make sure that those products can be available when the insect is giving us the greatest challenge. Again, Brad Bernhardt's one of those fellas on the leading edge here at Syngenta. DuraStack is the new product with that 3 individual types of BT. Is that hard? I mean, you're dealing with a non-agronomist, Brad. How hard is it to get those kinds of 3 BTs working in the same product to provide results?
Well, historically, the process has been, if you want to get different traits within that genetics, it takes multiple insertion points. But we are actually using a multi-stack trait where it is less insertion points to get all 3 of these traits within the same hybrid. And that, again, not only accelerates how fast we can bring that to market, but also it's a lot cleaner. It also maintains that yield potential as well.
And we always talk about economy of scale. Whatever I'm putting in the ground from that bag has to give me that return on my investment. And I'm just thinking in my head how many different passes this DuraStack technology takes away from my bottom line. I mean, it economizes so quickly that way.
Yeah, it does. And I think even more importantly is what it does is it protects that ROI that's in that bag that you're putting out on your field. And it's doing that by having a better root protection, which helps with standability. It helps maintain that yield potential and harvestability with that crop.
Yeah, it's all connected from the roots on up, folks, and that's exactly what the folks at Syngenta focus in on. Brad Bernhardt makes it his career to try to find those new innovations and technologies that they can insert into that bag to give you the return on investment you're looking for. We know margins are tight. Everybody recognizes that. So does the folks at Syngenta. Again, like I said, Brad Bernhardt along with us, corn technical product lead and the man behind what you're seeing when it comes to performance in the field with DuraStacks. Here in north central Illinois at a fabulous research facility, giving you the latest innovations along with Brad Bernhardt. I'm Pam Yankee with Syngenta.